Morning. Hi Vanessa, you're nice and early. Thank you for your order, Vanessa, yesterday. I go out tonight. As will the other order that's outstanding. Morning everyone. Don't be shy, say hello. You're welcome, Vanessa. How are we all this fine morning? Hi Sandy. Oh, have I? Oh, okay. I've just had my parcel from Phil delivered this morning, which is quite exciting because I've got Trudy's new stamps in it, which are very, very nice. And it does mean, of course, that anybody that's waiting for an order from me, from Phil's stuff from the shows last week, will go out tonight. I'll try and make the last post today because I tend to go out quite late when not many people are around. Yeah, so a bit of a panic on at the moment though, because my Pentart parcel that I need so I can make some videos for next week is stuck in customs. So yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to sort out my craft room. All I'll do is move stuff around in the same space. There's too much stuff, not enough space, not enough storage, and then if I start moving stuff around, I can't find it. So it's better to live, I suppose, in a mess where I can't find stuff rather than just can't find anything. Right, so there's quite a few people on now, so we'll make a start. So we're going to do, again, another card with the life quotes from Phil, which launched last week. Obviously, I'm doing these demonstrations because we were unable to go into the studios. Hi, Teresa, you're nice and early. I haven't even started yet. Well done. So because I couldn't do those, this is the last of my proper demos. And as I said yesterday, because of getting ready for the videos, ready for the shows that are coming up, we've got to record videos, so I'm going to be frantically doing that between now and next Sunday, hopefully, if my Pentart stuff arrives. So this is the last planned one for the time being until next Sunday. So we're going to do an inky background on this one rather than using the paper. And as you can see on this one, I've used the Fabulous stamp set, but as usual, I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to use the Own Direction one instead, which will fit nicely, as they all do. And we're also going to be using the extras textures and the decorative extras as well. So we're going to be enhancing those a little bit. So let's put all this to one side and make some space. So first of all, we need to make our inky background. And I'm on the Sentimentally Yours blending mat. This is the small one, the 9x9. And I'm going to use a piece of Bockingford card, which is the hot press card from Pink Ink, which you need to either buy from the ladies or from Hochanda. And I'm going to be using the watercolour blending pen set 2. Yeah, I will make the post, Jean. Don't worry, I will. I promise. Yeah, so we're going to be using set 2. Now, I did actually run out of set 2 yesterday, but I ordered some more last night and Phil's packing it at the moment, so hopefully by Wednesday I should have it. So if you need a set 2, there should be some. And these are the colours that you get in set 2. There's no duplications to set 1 at all. and there will be another 2 sets during the year, so you can fill in the gaps for your blending. So we're going to use the tealy colour, this one, which is that one, and I think I'm going to go for that purple there. I can't remember whether I used that pink or that purple, because obviously I've got one dry, but we'll go with the purple one for now. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter one bit. So to do my background, I'm going to do these separately, these pens, because if you put them all in at once, what you tend to do is get a merge of the colours on your background, and you don't get any definition of colour. It's like if you're doing your Distress Oxide backgrounds, if you put more than one colour on at once, they will merge and they will perhaps go a little bit muddy. So we're just going to mix that with water. And to get it going, rather than just if I just took a print like that, I'm going to just get scribbles. So to get it going, I'm going to just use the edge of the card just to get rid of the scribble marks, and then I'm dipping in. So here we get a nice good dispersion now, rather than any scribble marks. Oh, sorry about hitting the camera. I realised because I've been recording my Indigo Blue videos for the 13th, and I realised that when I stamp, I make the whole desk jerk around, and it kind of makes the camera wobble. I didn't realise that until I watched it back, so apologies if I do that. It's all a learning process. Yeah, I've given loads of stuff away too. My auntie runs a scrapbooking club for an old people's home, and well, I don't know actually if it's for an old people's home. It just might be a load of 70-year-olds that get together and scrapbook. So I've given her loads and loads of 12 by 12 papers. But of course, yeah, we're not seeing anybody at the moment, are we? We're giving that a quick blast. That's nice and dry, and then we're going to add our second colour. So we're going to go for our purple. Hi Debbie. So we're going to add some of that. Obviously with what was left, I could have gone on to a second piece of card. And sometimes it's nice to have 2 pieces going, so that your second piece would have just a tiny bit of the blue on, and then when you go to do the second colour, go for the second colour first on the second piece, and then so that piece will have more purple on it, and so this one would have less purple on it, if that makes sense. And so it gives you 2 different backgrounds. Morning Christine, morning Nora. So again, we're going to do the same thing. Move the ink around, and then just go in on top with that to give us a different colour set. Sorry, I can't stop hitting the camera. You will find, because remember they're watercolour pens, you will find that the wet from your second colour will actually still move some of the original colour around, but that's fine. It's just not as pronounced as if you went for 2 colours on at once. So there's my background. So we clean this up. Bit of kitchen roll. Easy peasy. So I would just leave that to dry probably, because I've already got one that's nice and dry. Because when you die cutting, you need to make sure that it's 100% dry, because obviously it's not going to cut as well if it's not, is it? Now what did I do with those? I put them down here somewhere. Here they are. Okay. So I've gone ahead, and out of my A4 piece, I've got a double deboss rounded corner rectangle. I think that is the same colour actually. So it is that, yes it is. So that purple goes more pink. And then a double debossed essential oval, and I've also got a thin piece of card as well. So now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. We'll start with the focal point first. So we'll start with our oval. Let's get rid of that. And I'm going to use my Stamp Perfect. In fact, I can use the smaller one because I've moved my flowers off the smaller one. So let's use the smaller one. And pop that in into place. Oh, just do the anti-static bag first, because we're going to be using embossing powder. Morning, Philip. You said to me while I'm packing your box, that's what you said. Oh, pure gold embossing powder, that's what I could do with. I just remembered. Right, so we're just going to pop that, secure that with the magnets, and then get our own direction stamp out. I keep on thinking of the pop group when we pull this one out. Well, that don't exist anymore, obviously, because they're separate. Right, let's see. Let's line this up. Of course, my magnets are in the wrong place, aren't they, as usual? Put those out there. And see, that fits beautifully. Okay, so we pick it up onto the other side. And we're going to use the Wow embossing ink. I am currently out of stock of these, but again, I ordered some more last night, and Wow are normally quite quick. So I imagine that they'll be here in the next couple of days. If you want to know when they're arriving, then just if you go onto the product page, so go into brands, into Wow on my website, and if you find the embossing pad, you just click on email when available, and as soon as I load the stock, then you'll be notified, so you won't miss out. But I have ordered quite a lot, so we should be all right for a while. I think that's inked within an inch of its life. And just pop that and give it a good old press. Make sure the ink gets a chance to sink into the card. I mean, the card's lovely and smooth. It takes so much ink, you know, and water thrown at it, but it's lovely and smooth, so it's perfect for stamping on. Really lovely cardstock. Okay, so you can't see it, of course, but it is there. And we're going to add the Blueberry Crush embossing powder to do the reveal. There we go. Beautiful image. And now some of them are quite forgiving as well, because some of them are a little bit grungy like this one. So if you miss an entire part of a word out, it's going to show, but you know, if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter too much. So we just heat set this. Heat tool. Find a poker tool. Morning, Nikki. Remember, when you're heat embossing, follow the words round. Don't do all this wiggly business. Just follow it, and then you'll know where you are. You know which bits you've set and which bits you haven't. Just think of the path you're going to follow and follow it. Look at those wings, they're beautiful. Get all the detail from these embossing powders. Nearly there. There we go, all done. Now you will find sometimes that your card bends, like this has. But that's fine. We can put it underneath my board that I've got underneath. We could, because it's quite blank here, we could actually add some extra little elements. Let's do that. Now I've just rubbed my fingers all the way around there, so to make sure that I've not put mucky fingerprints, I'm just going to put an anti-static bag around there again. Let's see, there's lots of stamps on here. There are, normally it says 43 stamps on this particular stamp set. I mean, they're not huge, obviously, but a lot of them are really, really usable. I mean, we could just go for that. I love this swirly bit, so we could just put a swirly bit either side. Should we do that? Let's do that. It's quite funny doing this because you can't speak back to me. I'll just decide my own. I'll decide whatever I want to do, as you would do normally. So using one of Phil's acrylic blocks, let's have one about there. Of course, now I've got to get them even, haven't I? So that's going to be a bit of a challenge because I can't see it. Let's put the embossing powder on so I can see it. That'll help. There it is. Have you ever knocked over your pot of embossing powder? I have. When I've been putting it back in the pot, I've knocked the pot over, which is so annoying. Right, so we want one about opposite that one. Oh, I've got some extra powder there. Right, let's see. It won't be exactly right, but I'm in with a fighting chance because it's a clear stamp. So about there, by that arrow. And what we'll also do is add some extra little stars as well, just because we can. Where's my little stamp set? There it is. Oh, I'll put embossing powder on that as well so I don't stamp over it. Of course, you can use any colour ink underneath these, so you could use your VersaFine Clear underneath if you wanted to, and then you can see where you're going, and you won't need to actually keep on putting your powder on all the time. I'm leaving that open. That's dangerous, but I'm leaving it open. Right, so let's put some little stars in here. We've got some little dinky little stars. There's several of them. Let's put them all quite close together to make a little stamp. So I'm not going to get them all in, but I'll get some of them in. And I can do all of these because I'm not trying to get next to each other. So we have that one there. I'm not going to bother adding any elements below where the word is because my flowers will go down there. In fact, I might not see all these, but not when I come to it. But just to show you that you can actually extend the design and make it your own. You can do a whole page around it if you wanted to, you know, in a journal or something. Okay, so there's my stars all done. Drop on your embossing powder. You do need to be careful when you're heat setting again, because obviously you've stamped and heat set the other area. Now, in hindsight, what you can also do is not actually heat set that main area until you've done all your stamping. Now look how that adds that. Doesn't that look fab? It's very clever, Mr. M. That just expands it. I like that. If you think it's too busy, don't do it, you know. But the nature of these stamps is that they are like a collage, so you can extend that collage as much as you like. I'll just miss the pot. We pretend that I didn't. There we go. Let's heat set that now. Hi Maureen. Hi Gloria. Oh, need a different heat tool. Now, with the Wow embossing tool, sometimes they overheat, so I need to grab another one. It's a safety feature. But as I've got 97 million heat tools, we'll be alright. Hi Marcia. Right, let's heat set this. try and stay away from my main image. Squiggle. And stars. They're just fab, these stamps. They're fantastic to work with. Especially if you've lost your crafty mojo. They kind of just set you off, you know, so you can give you some ideas of what to do. There's my expanded design. I'm going to put that underneath my board, flatten it, and then we're going to go on to the background. Now if we go back to, so see, when I do my backgrounds and things, I tend to do the whole thing and then I work around it. But if you see on here, I've stamped in the corners here. I actually stamped in those corners as well, but clearly it's not, you don't have to do it, do you, if you're going to put your flowers there. I've also stamped onto this border. Now I probably will still do that because you can still see some of the detail coming out. So we will do that. But let's do the background first. Now on my original one, I used the fleur-de-lis, but there's lots to choose from in here. So I think we'll use something else. Let's use some arrows because there's lots of arrows on here. We could of course use one of the borders, but we're going to use one of the borders on the border. Surprise, surprise. So let's use some arrows. So we've already got some arrows that are curling, so we'll use those. Lots of arrows here. There are a lot of arrows, and we can actually curl some of the longer ones as well. So this is a straight one, but because it's photopolymer, you can curl it yourself if you want to. And let's see, let's have this one. That's not a bendy one, but it will be. And I quite like this one as well. That's quite a solid one. Don't need much more really. It just about fits on there. Okay, so there's my little background. We need to dust with our anti-static bag yet again because we're going to emboss. And I'm going to just do these two corners. Hi Marion, hi Judy. Don't worry Marion, you can always watch on catch up. No, it's not catch up, is it? If you go to the video section when we're finished, you'll be able to watch them, and you can watch the ones I've done over the last few days as well. So again, go with our Wow embossing ink, and we'll get away just with one stamping in the corner. That'll be plenty. So we just do one here. Oh, one of them became unbent then, the shorter one. That's fine. And then we do one over here. Just there. It's good telly, isn't it, not being able to see? It all will be revealed when I put the embossing powder on. Just have to remember which corner I put it in. Here's one. Isn't that cool? And the other. There's my two corners. Do you know, suddenly popped into my head, you know that Two Ronnie sketch about 4 candles? That just popped into my head. Why did it do that? Random. Completely random. Thank you, Kath. It's just so nice that you guys are joining me to, you know, watch me. Look at these. They're quite funky, some of these arrows. that one. Let's just give it a heat from underneath to try and get rid of the kink. That's better. Okay, so one more bit of stamping that we need to do is on our border. And I'm going to put this underneath my board again to try and flatten it out. So on my border, we're going to use the stars on the... Are we going to use the stars? Let's not use the stars, because I use the stars on the other, because we can. So we could use that flourish, which is my favourite. We could use the music. That one's quite a cool one, the thread. I really like that one, but that one's... I could use it like that. Let's go for the flourish. It's my favourite. This is the last video for a few days, so let's use the flourish. So many you can use. Anti-static bag again. It's a really good habit to get into, although because the embossing powders are made by Wow, so you know immediately that they're very, very good quality, and they're anti-static, and so are the pots. So you always keep them back in the same pot. But if you get into the habit of always anti-staticking, if you use a powder that hasn't got it, then it does mean that you're always going to be covered. So it's a really good habit, and it's a hard habit to get into, but it's a really good habit to get into. So we're just going to pop our flourish on each side. We only need to do a little bit. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could do a whole border. Pop that border on your card with a sentiment. Job's good, good job's a good one. You're done. That's excellent, Sandy. I like that. Isn't it odd how I mean, I don't know if you're like that, but just odd random things just pop into my head for no reason whatsoever. And then I sit here, you know, when I'm not talking to you guys, I'll be talking to myself saying, you stupid woman. And then even worse is if my son Nathan comes in and says, who are you talking to, Mum? Right, that looks lovely, doesn't it? That's not even heat set yet. We're almost ready to start constructing. It's like laying down the groundwork before you can get going. I think there's probably a few places called Four Candles, isn't there? Because it was such a funny sketch, wasn't it? This flourish is a little bit grungy as well, or very pretty. You know, can you imagine this embossed in gold or silver? Really, really elegant. There we go, that one's done. Right, let's see where we're at now. Okay, so this is blue sapphire card from Arfil, and I've cut, this is the largest of the rounded corner rectangles that I've cut out of there. Oh, got to ink first, sorry, just ignore that. Blah, 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 blah. That one didn't exist. You need some inking around the edges just to finish it off so it looks proper. So broken china is a really good match for the teal colour that's in the pens. So we've got broken china oxide here. So first of all, we go around the edge of my border. We don't need to go all the way around the edge because there's only this bit here that's going to be seen, if at all, obviously, because only a little bit is poking out. Okay. I might not have heat set all that. It'll be all right. Right, okay. Let's go to our other two pieces and just ink around the edges of these. So I'm using a woodware blending tool here, and you'll find the more you use a particular pad, as in foam, the easier it is to use to do your blending, because it's almost like the ink sets into them. And if you're keeping them in a plastic bag as well, you'll find that sometimes you don't even need to apply any more ink. That's that one. That finishes that off nicely. And then my focal piece. I'm using just a regular craft sheet underneath, which is why it's moving around a lot, because I'm just on a piece of MDF. So that's why it's moving around. I keep my Sentimentally Yours blending mat for best for at the studio for some unknown reason. I think we might do a bit of colouring in actually before we stick that down, just because we can. Let's clean this up. Now this is where you have a spare piece of card and you mop that up, but I haven't, so we won't. But that's what you should do. In exactly the same way as I've been using the pens on the blending mat, you should be mopping that up, and you've constantly got backgrounds on the go if you do that. Let's just add a little bit of pen to these here. So we've got these little stars, and because we've got this really fine point, we can just colour in these stars here because they're open stars. And that's just going to tie all the colours in. You could do some in purple, but my main colour here is actually the blue, and then it's just a suggestion of the purple in there. So that's why I'm not going for purple. I'm going for the main colour. Let's do the arrow as well. You could go on for ages doing this. Very relaxing. I'm not blending. You could actually just scribble a little bit of the pen onto your craft sheet or blending mat and pick it up with a water brush, and then you'd have a lighter colour. But do remember that you've used the pens underneath, so they will move around a little bit because it's watercolour and you're on watercolour card, and also the Distress Oxide reacts with water as well, so that's going to move around as well. Little stars. We've got another arrow here, an open arrow, so we can colour that in. Shall I do that one? I'll just do a little bit of that one, the feathers. No, I'll do the whole thing because I went over the lines. We could start colouring in the words here. So if you don't like it, you can just take a water brush and bleach it out. So if you could take a clean water brush, go over the top with the water, and then just quickly add a piece of kitchen roll over the top, and it'll blot it out. Let me just do that. Know when to stop, Julia. That's not as prominent now, is it? No, it's not. But it'll be all right. We'll just leave it like that. I'll faff around with it later. Okay, let's start stacking up. So as I said, I've got the blue sapphire. Hi, David. Ah, yeah, but that's very true, Teresa. Yeah, Ed's got a bit of a cold actually. It was a little bit worrying, but his coat is really quite healthy and smooth. So I don't know if he's got an allergy or something, but he's sneezing a lot at the moment. It can't be that he's got flu or anything, because he has his jabs every year. So it can't be serious, and it's not bothering him. He's just quite, I mean, I shouldn't laugh. It is quite funny when he sneezes. Right, let's see if I can get this straight. Just using some of Phil's glue. Obviously, because it's a bit kinky, as in wavy, I need to give it a really good time to press down, because the glue just needs time to set. It is quite quick grab glue really, but you know, it's like anything. I was doing one of my indigo blue videos earlier, and of course the glue decided to bung up, as they do. Right, I need my border next. Let's put my border together. Again, using the blue sapphire card. And it's butting up to both edges. That looks pretty, doesn't it? I'm quite pleased with that. even if I say so myself. So that's going to go on there. It's going on flat. Stick. You have all the time in the world at home when you're doing this. You know, you can go off and have a cup of coffee while it all bonds together. But you'd be a bit annoyed if I went off and had a cup of coffee while I was doing this, wouldn't you? There we go. I do have my honey and lemon waiting for me though. Then we're going to have an oval. Again, we're going to add tape to this. This is the Woodware 2mm foam tape. I'm going to pop that in the middle-ish. You've just got those sticking out. That's cool, isn't it? I'm happy with this. It's good when a plan comes together. These are so easy to use though, these stamps. You know, you will struggle to make a card you're not happy with these stamps. As I said to you yesterday, the layouts I've used are pretty much the same throughout, you know. Central point with the stamp and some flowers in 2 corners. Pretty much all my cards look like that. Yeah, I keep all my foams in bags with labels on. I've got a little name on them. Look, broken china. Then I know exactly which ones to go for. Trouble is, I've run out of that little size bag now. I've got to get some more. Right, stick. Right, glitter now. That's going to make the card want to come up even more. So we're going to have some glitter. Then we're going to just run some through that raised bit in the middle because it's double debossed. I'll miss quite a bit because I'm trying to do it quickly. Doesn't matter. We're going to use the Crystal Aurora on this one. If it kinks up, it'll settle down once the glue's dry. Just around the edge. And of course the glue's going on white and it's going to dry clear. And what I'll do is later on I'll take a photograph of when it's all set. We are going to be giving away all of the cards that I've made on the Facebook Lives in the last few days. There'll be a post going up tomorrow morning, and I think you'll just need to leave a comment, I think, or even just like it. I don't know. I haven't made my mind up yet, but watch out for it. Oh, I think I missed. A little bit more. Give it a flick. Another thick, more of a flick. There's so much glitter on my floor. As I said, this is the Crystal Aurora that's got, I like this one, it's got like iridescent tones to it. But it's kind of see-through as well. Glitter everywhere. Right, that's that one. Okay, so now we'll add some flowers. Let's put that to one side. Now my flowers I've shaped already, but on my original one, if you can see the original one, the flowers look slightly different because I'll show you how I've done these with the pointy tweezers. As you can see, I've used my mopped up ink background and stamped and embossed with the Blueberry Crush. And I've also stamped onto the blue sapphire card and embossed with the True White. This is the Elegance flower from Phil, and I've cut them out with the Elegance flower die set, so the two are going to match completely. Now on this card, the way I've shaped them is I popped my tweezers in the centre here. These are the pointy tweezers from Phil, and I've bent it up like that, and that's how you get that flower there. For these flowers, I'm actually doing it the opposite way, like that. It doesn't have to be perfect because it doesn't matter once the flowers are put together. And then that one, that one, that one, and one more. Okay, let's move this one out of the way. So finish with that one. Then we're going to add some glue just to the centre. And I'm on a moulding mat. It's just a piece of foam. And my embossing tool is here. And I'm just going to jab it. And when you jab it, it all sticks up in the air. Hi Alan. Morning Trudy. My stamps have arrived today. So I'm very excited. I'll be playing with those this afternoon once I've done all my post. Right, let's put these flowers on and the leaves on and we'll be done. I've got glitter everywhere. Let's get rid of that. Right. My leaves are the Lush Leafy Fronds, sorry. And they've got a lovely deboss detail in them. You don't need to run them on the deboss sandwich. They just give you that beautiful deboss detail anyway. So I'm going to add those. Glue. They've got quite long stems on them, these. Obviously you can cut some of the stems off if you want to. I'm going to just do it so that it hides the bit where I didn't emboss. That's how I want to do it. And we've got right and the left. Stay. So I've got picked up two the same way there. So let's just nip that off. Don't want all that. And put the other one on. Careful not to hide your words. And one more. I mean, some people do the flowers first and slide the leaves underneath. I never managed to do that. I'm getting a bit of a mess when I do that. So I just have to take pot luck as to whether I put my leaves in the right place or not. I want to go over there in a minute when the glue's all set. Right, now big flower I'm putting in the bottom. Pretty. And the smaller flower, you can see I've alternated. So that one's got the inky one on the top, this one's got the blue one on the top. And then these two are going to have, this one's going to have the blue one on the top either side of it. See where I'm going to put that. I might move that up a bit. They're not 100% stuck yet. I don't want to cover up my words at all. I'll give them a bit of a poke in a minute. In fact, I'll do that now. So they'll stay. That's where I want them to stay. The little ones are really cute. Pretty. And then these two other flowers are going to go the other side. And we'll have that one up there. Oh. This one down here. Then we give these a poke to make sure they stay. Oh. And that one. And then for the pearls, I'm using some of Phil's dual tone pearls, and we're going to go for one which happens to have, which one is this one, doesn't it? Yeah, it happens to have blue and pink in it, so it's like, it was perfect. So this is the Violet Clouds that we're going to use. Let's pop some glue in the centre. That's not quite stuck properly. Get down there. It is quite therapeutic doing the flowers actually. Where's my lid gone? There it is. And I'll use the other set of tweezers to pick up my pearls. Yeah, Jennifer, you can just catch up on the video. They're all in the video section on the on my page. So yeah, you can easily catch up. Grab a cup of tea though, because my videos are always quite lengthy. They're not quick cards to make, but sometimes, you know, especially at the moment, I think you want something that's going to, you know, you're going to lose yourself in for a little while, and, you know, you just forget about what else is going on, if you possibly can. Don't worry about any of the glue, because it's going to dry clear. And so these pearls you can only get from Phil if Ochanda don't have any left. Of course, he's not allowing me to have any. He's not allowing anybody to have any. Sticky fingers. It's quite hard to get the pearls in. You could go for the smaller ones, but I like the big ones and the big flowers. Get in. Do as you're told. I've got sticky fingers now. Right, I'm going to clean that one up. I'm going to use another one. Wash that one under the tap. Put that one in. And one more. That one in there. There we go. I keep pulling them out because I've got sticky fingers. Right, so there we go. I didn't move that out of the way. So there's your card all finished. I'll bring in the other colourway with the other stamp so you can have a bit of a comparison. So there's the two different stamps. They're quite big cards, aren't they? They're 8 inches tall. Let's pull them down a bit so you can see them properly. There we go. Okay, that's probably in the way, isn't it? A bit. I can move that one. I can see now on the camera where it is, so I can move that one up a little bit so I can read the word time a bit better. Okay, so there we go. So that's my thank you, darling. This is, as I said, this is my last video for a few days. The next one, hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything arrives, will be on Sunday morning at 11, and I'll give you a preview then of what's on the Pentart shows on Monday. But thank you so much for joining me over the last few days. Don't forget, if you need to buy any supplies on my website, there's a 10% discount at the moment while we're all stuck indoors. In the discount code box at checkout, just enter the words stay, or the word in one word, all capital letters, stay at home, and you'll get a 10% discount. Have a fabulous day, everybody, and I will see you, or join me next Sunday at 11. Bye.